Hello. Did you know that just a couple of years ago, the United States had an estimated 4.2 million students that could not speak English? Many of these families migrated to the United States and do not speak English inside their households as well. This has been a growing concern for the United States and especially the county that I am from, which is Pitt County. When I had the opportunity to come up with a project for my curriculum and instruction class, I knew that I wanted to tackle this problem of students being in the ESL program that are not succeeding like they should. It is of no fault of the students that are in this program, but the fault definitely lies on the shoulders of those teachers and administrators that are dealing with English as a second language students. I decided to look at what Pitt County was doing and see if I could revamp or change some of the plans that they have in place for these English second language learners. The first part of my project was to look at Pitt County Schools' strategic plan and look at the goals that they have set in place. I was then to look and see what I could do to help fix the ESL problem that we have by incorporating these goals. It was very easy to incorporate the ESL program into these goals because they all affected those teachers and those students in the ESL program. My next job was to sit down with our Assistant Superintendent of Curriculum and Instruction along with our Title I Director and talk about my ideas and plans for the ESL program. After sitting down with our Title I Director, she went over some data with me, and I was very alarmed with what I had found. The students in the ESL program were doing okay as far as the growth index was concerned, but they were doing horrible at the percent exiting the ESL program. After talking with the Title I Director a little bit more, she told me that this is nothing new. This has actually been a common problem within Pitt County schools for a while. She even broke down some of the data for me even more so as far as grade levels were concerned. As you can see, all the grade levels are represented in this graph, but I want you to pay close attention to the yellow bars that are dealing with the 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. I also want you to pay close attention to the column that is labeled percent exited. This is 2 years of data. You will notice that in the 6th, 7th, and 8th grades across the county, the number of students that are exiting from the ESL program are extremely low. Compared to those students that are in the elementary grade levels and also in the high school grade levels, the middle school ESL students are not performing as well as far as exiting the program. This has been a problem in Pitt County schools for quite a while, and I knew after seeing this data this is exactly where I wanted to start with as far as my project was concerned. I felt like the first and biggest problem was awareness. I felt like the schools were not quite aware of the students that were ESL and did not have a good grasp of how they could help those students. So the first step included only the administrators. It is a 4-step process. The first step got the administrators looking at their ESL population along with their teacher population. I thought it was very important that administrators know exactly who those students were and how many students they were dealing with. The second step got the administrators looking at the ESL curriculum and knowing it inside and out. In order to have those crucial conversations that administrators must have, they need to make sure they are well versed in these curriculums. The third step got the administrators looking at the data that included ESL students and how they were affecting their overall school data. So often administrators look at the big picture and sometimes forget about the individual students such as the ESL population that still affect their data. The fourth step got administrators looking at clearly defined practices that would help the ELL population along with the teachers that were teaching ELL students. After the administrators went through those 4 steps, I now looked at how teachers would be affected. I came up with a series of professional development trainings that would help regular ed teachers support those ELL students in their classroom. Each PD training acted as an individual unit, but they supported each other as a whole. Putting all of these trainings together would help the teachers be better prepared for dealing with students that did not speak English. At the same time, it would also help clear up any misconceptions that a teacher may have. And finally, the last part included the families. It looked at strategies that families could incorporate into their homes that would help their students and their families succeed. Pitt County is doing a lot to help these ESL students already. But hopefully with some of my ideas and my help, we can help bridge this gap even closer.